Strike three, wording out. Who's that?
My name's Dr. Rose, I'm from Canada, and this is my first Tea Party meeting.
Welcome.
You talked about having, one of your concerns would be the national security. We have situations, every time we turn around, there's some sort of a national crisis, that it's used as an opportunity to come down more on the American people, to instigate more institutional security that actually, I believe, takes away many of our rights. And I'd like to know what your position is on that. Thank you.
Thanks, sir. I had the honor at my company of serving as the Vice President of Homeland Security after September 11th. We're primarily a defense company, and now we're trying to figure out how to take those solutions and apply them in a really new threat scenario. And got to know how our government responds to threats in two administrations. How many of you, when you fly, like putting the liquids in those little 3-ounce bottles? How long have we been doing that? 4 or 5 years? Time goes by pretty quick. I think it's around 4 or 5 years that we have to carry our liquids in 3-ounce increments. That is a small but meaningful example of the lack of focus of our government on responding to the current threats. We lose our freedom. That was the easy way out. We adjust. We take off our shoes. We divide up our liquids and things, rather than applying the full force of this government on devising a solution. And we can. We can. But we're not able to. The current administration, I believe, is aloof to the threats facing us, the modern nature of the threats facing us. You know, there's something in the news today, General McChrystal was replaced. And he was replaced by a very good man, General McChrystal. I think it's our job to not talk about the Rolling Stone article that precipitated all this, but rather, what is the root cause here? I suspect that the root cause is a disconnect between the Commander-in-Chief and one of his lead battle commanders. That's where we need to pay attention. We need to make sure that the policy we have is the right one, is constitutional, is doable, effective, and that the right people are implementing it. That may or may not be the case right now in Afghanistan. But it's our job as Americans to educate ourselves and understand it. It's a huge job of the American Congress to understand this.
I just want to touch on, you were talking about the security issue. I know how you felt about the naked body scanners. The naked body scanners they put in airports and courthouses.
Naked body scanners?
Yeah.
Yeah, without handpicking any particular technology, I think there's definitely more we can do on technology. I'm not really familiar with naked body scanners. That sounds like a great idea.
They have them already.
Yeah, are these the ones where you go through and then supposedly the image goes to another room?
Yeah, well, they can do whatever they want with the image, but it's literally taking an X-ray of you through your clothing. So you're basically getting a naked picture you're taking, and you're getting X-rayed every time you go to the airport.
Yeah, I mean, as an alternative to getting patted down, okay, but it seems to me that is an extreme example of what we need to be doing to keep ourselves safe.
That's where it's heading, though.
Yeah. Well, it is.
They want to put them on the streets, too.
There are answers to technology. There are answers in technology, but the reason you have technology is not to sacrifice your personal freedom. And you know, my point is, we're sacrificing our personal freedom because government hasn't brought the weight of its technology forward. Bringing technology forward that causes us to be even less free and sacrifice our privacy seems that wasn't the right way to point technology.
One of Congress's favorite ways of making it look like the budget has been balanced is by unfunded mandates. What's your position on unfunded mandates?
I'm opposed to them. I have a very simple idea of spending. Any dollar not spent by the federal government on a constitutionally derived purpose belongs to the people. So if you're going to balance the budget, my view is you freeze the budget at the pre-bailout level. And when you want to know where the cuts come, you apply that test. And there'll be savings galore, including unfunded mandates. That's one way that Congress does it. New Hampshire is trying to balance its own budget. Part of the reason they're having so much trouble is things like special education, Medicaid, Medicare reimbursements, which are loaded with unfunded mandates. So it's a burden on the states that the federal government is creating. It's concrete on our shoulders.
But the state is now passing it now to the local community.
Absolutely, absolutely. But where does it start? Federal government, that's where it needs to start. So,
Well, you're at least pay attention on this. Representative Kennedy, that's how you pronounce his name, down in the southwest Ohio. Every year when he goes into a new session of Congress, he introduces this bill, and the crux of the bill is why is that each and every spending bill that's submitted to Congress specified the place in the Constitution that gives them the ability to spend that money. It never passes. But I would like to know how you stand. Were you in a situation where you need to vote it up or down? How would you stand?
you know, I've never seen a whole lot of harm come from voting against wasteful spending. To support his proposal? Oh no, I support his proposal, but you know what? I think that there's way more we can do. If you'll indulge me for a minute, let me tell you, I'm not big on process changes. Normally, I believe if you believe deeply in something, understand what you're talking about, and are committed and have the guts to do it, but that's what it takes. If you elect an individual with those traits to get it done. I don't want to blame the process. But there is a reason why. I mean, many of the things you've heard me say tonight, you've heard before, and you've heard from others. Why do we need to keep saying them? Because I actually do believe there's things about Congress that need to change and that we can change. The first, Congress operates on a seniority system. It operates like a union. The longer you stay, the more power you have. Well, if you're like me, you're not a career politician, you want to get down, you want to do something, you want to be effective, and then you want to leave. That's what John Adams did. That's what Clarence thought. Still works for me. But it's now, we have a process that's seniority based. So you're incentivized to stay in order to get something done. By the time you have the power to get something done, you're part of the system. We can change the seniority system right now. I believe the Tea Party movement should adopt this. We can change it right now. You don't need a law. The second thing we need to do, term limit committee chairs. We've all been for term limits, right? We all support term limits. But to do them in a way that's effective, you have to have a constitutional amendment, and that's hard to do. So let's look at the root cause. Let's do something we can do. It's term limit committee chairman. 4 years, tops. Will we really care about Barney Frank or Charlie Randall or any of these other people if they weren't sitting on top of committees for decades, literally decades? 3, get rid of the pension. Pensions reward long-term career service. How many people believe Congress should be a long-term career service job? But we have a pension. Get rid of the pension, okay? Trash the seniority system. Committee chairs, term limit, 4 years. Get rid of the pension. One other thing I do, if you do those 3 things, you're going to see a bunch of good things happen, but I do one more. Freeze the pay when they come in. So when you're sworn in as a member of Congress, you get a salary. So what happens now? I believe that shouldn't go up as long as you're there. After 6 years, 8 years, you'll think about leaving on your own. You don't need term limits. And if you want to stay that bad, and if your constituents want you to stay that